what do we think in general about compensation to surrogates? I mean, what's even the, do we think it's okay or not okay? And Michel was part of the effort of creating the ethical framework for surrogacy and the parameters that we have there for what we think makes surrogacy ethical, more ethical than otherwise. And maybe, just kind of like give us a taste of what we think we can do in the future in this realm, because we're not going to be able to exhaust this topic today.
So the compensation, really, I can maybe break down into two different parts. And one of that is these things that kind of reimbursed for. So if I need to go and buy maternity clothes, or the first trimester, I was just exhausted and came home and went to bed immediately and then woke up and we ate Costco pre-made dinners every night for a month because I couldn't cook. And that gets expensive, and eating out gets expensive. So those kinds of things where I shouldn't be out of pocket because my lifestyle has changed so that I can care for the child. And then the other piece is what has sometimes been referred to as, pain and suffering. And we've been talking about this idea of more of this disruption and discomfort in your life, and how has being pregnant and not just being pregnant, but the leading up to that, all of the application process and the screening process and the meds at the beginning, which are atrocious, and those different pieces, how is that impacting my day-to-day life? How is that making me physically uncomfortable, right? Throwing up in the morning, lumps on my back because of the injections, those sorts of things. And then how is that disrupting the rest of my life, that my husband needs to be home at 7 o'clock every night to give me my shot and make sure that he's doing that, or that for 2 months I can't pick up my daughter because I'm not allowed to carry that much weight, and my daughter doesn't have that, or I'm traveling up to Portland to get my shots or to do the transfer, and then my daughter is at home without me and she's crying because mom's not there to put her to bed. That's a disruption for my child to impact her life. And I think that that's really different. That piece is really different for different women, right? Is your pregnancy smooth and easy? Maybe mine should be less because my pregnancies have gone really well, but I have 3 small children and they are impacted. I have a husband who experiences PTSD. He's, impacted a little bit more than your average husband. So how do you look at it and make sure that's fair for each individual piece? I am kind of in the opposite of where some direction is going, where I, in my last contract, reduced my base fee and increased some of these other pieces because I didn't feel like this disruption of being pregnant, and that experience was I didn't feel like it needed $30,000 of that. That was too much for me. But again, those meds are atrocious, and I wanted more for that period because that is more disruption and pain in my life than some of these other things. Or the maternity clothes, I spent that whole $750 last time when I was pregnant, and I don't need next time to buy that many, and so I reduced that because I don't need all of that. So I'm really trying to be on this second journey much more thoughtful about why am I being compensated, and how can I make sure that my IPs are paying me fairly for what that is, but that also that I'm not out, so that when I am on bed rest or something else comes up, I do not hesitate to send them that bill and say, all right, pay up, let's go.